more disappointed in Russell Westbrook because heading into this game, I thought Russell Westbrook is going to will himself to be the best player on either team. And as it turns out, he wasn't even the best point guard on either team. And this is, you're set up for this watching the Pacers and the Hornets, and you see the way Charlotte came out. You said, damn, they just lack intensity, right? One thing, I actually even tweeted a picture of Westbrook entering the arena because I want to show the difference between intensity and what Charlotte showed. I used Westbrook as like the poster child for that. Like, this dude is intense. If anything, I think sometimes Westbrook's too intense. He pulls too hard. He needs to ease off, but not to the extent we saw last night. And the body language, everything. I did not see the normal Russell Westbrook, let alone a guy who refused to lose, and that's what it was going to take. So Russell Westbrook, Mr. Intensity, does everything, triple-doubles on a team that was extremely hot late in the season, largely because of him, was not only not the best player, but was outplayed by the other team's point guard. And so, of course, they had no chance to win. Now I have to sit here and listen to this guy, Molly, talk about wake me up when Russell Westbrook wins in the playoffs. Probably going to have to do that for another year.
You do listen to him 10 hours a week.
I hate to say I told you so. But like I told folks, the guy's a future Hall of Famer, without question. An incredible talent. Got to work on the J. Because when Brad Stevens decides to take a 6'9" guy with Jayson Tatum's length and put him on you to defend you, because he knows that that can be an impediment to you finishing shots at the basket, which is what Russell Westbrook's specialty is, then all of a sudden you're compromised. Do you know that Brad Stevens literally put Kemba Walker on Hachimura, who's like 6'9", 6'10"? He had Kemba Walker on him, for crying out loud. That's how little you were worried about the other guys. You keyed on Westbrook. You know that he struggles to shoot perimeter shots as the game slows in postseason, and that's what I was talking about when I was saying Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and others, they're marksmen, and that's why they have more success in the postseason, because they can pull up from long range. Now, having said all of that, as disappointed as Russell Westbrook's performance was, I got to give praise to Jayson Tatum, who put the world on notice and just reminded everybody, the brother's only 22. He dropping 50. He averaging 26 a game as the number one option for the Boston Celtics, shooting 45% from the field, better than 38.5% from three-point range. That dude is 22 years old. That's the dude that Brian Colangelo got hosed by Danny Ainge over when the Sixers had the number one, when the Sixers had the number 3 overall pick and wanted to move up to number 1 so badly to pass on Jayson Tatum and pick Markelle Fultz instead. This is what we're talking about here. Just imagine for 1 second, Max Kellerman, if Jayson Tatum was playing with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
They win it all maybe this year?
They're winning it all. They're winning it all. That's how gifted this kid is. And he's only 22 years of age, which ultimately brings us back to the conversation that we had about Brad Stevens yesterday, who did an exceptional job coaching last night. Give credit where credit is due. And I'm not advocating for him to be fired. Neither are you, Max. But again, when you have a talent like that in Jayson Tatum, when you see Kemba Walker show up and drop 29 as well, and you saw what Jaylen Brown was doing before he got injured, what the hell were you guys doing being a 500 team, having a roller coaster ride that you went on? That's not about talent. That's about something else that was missing. So I walked away incredibly impressed with Jayson Tatum, just a guy that's emerging as a star that I think is maybe a year away from being a flat-out superstar. If he's not already, he is that special, and that's what I think we walk away from last night's game with.
Well, look, I said yesterday, and I've been saying, Jayson Tatum has the potential to maybe one day be the number 1 scoring option on a championship team. Not many guys who ever lived can really be that. I think Tatum has a shot to do it. And he was playing Stephen A. I'm not taking any credit away from him. He was great last night. But he's playing an awful, a miserable defensive team. Washington, even when they got hot. And by the way, I think they have real chances, against Indiana. Health.
Bless you.
I think they have real chances against Indiana. They've beaten them twice pretty recently, but they're winning games 137, 135 in regulation. They were winning games by fast-paced, high-scoring games. They're a bad defensive team playing a great young player who you knew had to go off to win.
Yeah, but that's why I brought up his numbers. Because if he just showed up last night, averaging 19 to 20 a game, that would be different. But when you spend an entire season and you play 64 to 72 games and you're the number one option for the Boston Celtics and you still average 26.4 a game on 45% shooting and better than 38% shooting from three-point range, when you are 6'9" with a handle and a perimeter shot and a mid-range game, the brother is special. And
No
Jayson
question.
Tatum is coming.
His third 50-point game, only one Celtic has more. That would be Larry Bird, who has 4. Good company to be in. We love Larry Bird and the Rose family. Stephen A., let me ask you this here. How far do you think the Celtics can go in this Nets series? What kind of series do you think they could give them?
No, they're getting swept. They're getting swept or they're losing. They might lose in 5, but my initial response is they'll get swept because I think that Brooklyn's offense is just so lethal. The fact that Jaylen Brown is not there, I believe the only way that Boston can win a game in this series is if Kemba Walker plays the way he played last night. If Kemba Walker doesn't show up and do what he did last night, Jayson Tatum can't carry it by himself against those brothers. He'll get his points. Jayson Tatum's going to put up buckets. He might average over 30 in this series. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.